I almost spilled my McDonald's. Thank goodness it's finished. That would have been kind of messy earlier in the show. This segment of our show brought to you by the law offices of Ogle, Elrod, and Burrill. If you need legal advice or legal help, turn to the crew at Ogle, Elrod, and Burrill. They come to you. It's right there in their spots, and they mean it. Wherever you want to set up a consultation, they will come and meet you there. Ogle, Elrod, and Burrill. All right. Guys, well, let me do this first. Coming up this afternoon, we're going to talk a little bit more about coaches and players and the interactions in between. What can coaches do now that maybe they couldn't do in the past? Should players be a little bit more tough than they are? We'll discuss all that on our overtime segment. That's coming up on sportsource.tv this afternoon, and I will tweet you, if you follow me, I'll tweet you and tell you when that story is up. And then also tonight at 11:35, Michael Spencer, of course, on 6 Sports Sunday, powered by the Sports Source, joined by Houston Fancher, Mark Pankratz, and Josh Ward. All right, very quickly, fellas, got a couple minutes here. Everyone was loving them some Donnie Tyndall back in January. Balls 12-5, all was looking good. They were overachieving. Now they've turned back into a pumpkin, 14-14. Has some of the shine come off of the Tyndall star in terms of the fans' perspective? Jimmy, you do a call-in show. I'll let you start.
I'm going to say yes, and that's because we all know how fans are. You win a game, you're the best coach in the country. You lose a game, you suck. And so it's when you put in the fans' reaction, some of it is some of the shine is taken off a little bit by what Tennessee has done. 1-7 in February, 4 consecutive home SEC losses, I think.
Mm-hmm.
So
first time since the O'Neal era.
So some of that shine has come off. I don't necessarily blame Tyndall for what's happened. He overachieved early, and so now it's come back to bite him a little bit. But I think from the fans' perspective, they're concerned.
And he was asked that question: is it a shame that you got everybody off on such a good start that the expectations rose? And he said, no, you always want high expectations. Houston, thoughts on fan perspective on Donnie Tyndall?
Well, I think he warned everybody early too.
He did.
We were 13 games left in the season, and our schedule gets tougher. So I don't think by any means it should wear off. I think he's an exceptional coach, and I think it still remains the same.
All right, about 30 seconds for each, about 20 seconds for each of you.
Well, I think if you just look in the coaching industry as a whole, and we have guests on our show all the time that talk about how great of a coach Donnie Tyndall is and his system, and he's won everywhere he's been once he gets the parts that fit his system into the program.
And that's the Coach's Corner podcast on sports radio, on WNML, sportsradio.com, something.
And I don't think he ever had more than 2 home losses in a season as a head coach, correct? And I sense his frustration. I mean, look at the play he drew up at the end of the Ole Miss game. That, to me, that shows you what kind of coach he is. The shot didn't go down, but that was a really good play.
Same thing with Arkansas. Okay, guys, thank you all. Thank you for watching. Thanks for watching. Thanks for supporting our sponsors. We will see you right back here next Sunday. Until then, live long and prosper.